Good morning, everybody. Today I'm going to show you how to make this cute little 3D gift box, Gnome gift box. And the original SVGs that I downloaded had everything made from card. So all of these parts were made from card. But I decided to change that, and I used tinsel for a round, or it's like a wall tinsel around the hat, little bobble on the top, and the nose and the feet and the bobble are made from recycled plastic, which is a lot like wool. So I just hand sewed little balls of that together to make the nose, feet and the bobble, and then I have some of this furry material which I use for the beard, and I think it looks a lot cuter made from card and material rather than just the card. On top of that, there is also the fact that this is the original SVG, and this came from Simply Craft SVGs, and I typed in Gnome, and this is what I got. And it is hugely complicated. These grey pieces are the feet, and as you can see, there's tons of tiny little folds, and there are lots of pieces. This pink one is the nose. Again, tons of tiny little folds, and I found that I couldn't get that to be exactly right. This is the beard. This is the banner around the outside of the hat, which I've used as tinsel. This is the hat, extra panels for the outside of the hat. This is the body and extra panels for the outside of the body. And then this is the base of the body, so the closure at the bottom. And I found that you didn't need any of these extra panels, as just making it from card heavy, this is 230 GSM, made a really nice strong structure, so you didn't need all these extra panels. Excuse me. So I then had to figure out how to make SVGs that made this work. So I opened up a new window, and just in case you don't know how to open a new window, go up to the top left hand corner where it says File, click on File and click New Window, and that opens up a separate window which you can copy and paste from between each one, and it allows you to work on different pieces at a time if you need to. Right, so first of all, we're going to upload the SVGs. Okay, so this is the hat I created, and when it comes in too big, so leave it locked and just change this to 5.946 and press enter, and that changes the size to be exactly what you want. Let's bring the screen down a little bit smaller. Okay, these are the body parts. Okay, so the 6 panels for the body, and then these 2 pieces get glued together for the base. Okay, so this is the beard. And it comes in a little bit too big. It says 5.814. So I'm just going to change that to 4.814. And that makes it the ideal size. Okay, so at the moment, all of these lines that are here, if you look over on the right hand side on your panel, it says basic cut. So you need to click on the little grey bits that are the score lines, but they say they're cut at the moment, and you need to change those to score. So come over, change that to score, click on the next one on the right hand side still says basic cut there, so change that to score and then highlight them all and click attach. And what that does is make sure that the score lines when you go to make it are attached to that piece. Then on the hat, I didn't do very well with this SVG. Each of these lines here say they're cut, so you need to change those lines to score. Just go down on each one, change it to score. And then when you've done them all, highlight the whole thing and click attach. All right, so now you can see they're all score lines and they're set to work on the hat itself, not be separate lines. Okay, so if you now go to make it, this is your beard, your body panels, and your hat. Okay, so if you haven't got a scoring tool, let's cancel that and go back to the original screen. If you haven't got a scoring tool, at the moment I do have one, but it's not working, so Cricut are helping me out with that. You just need to hide on this right panel here, hide the score lines by clicking on the eye, and you'll see over here, if I put one back, they disappear. Obviously, if you have a scoring tool, you leave them, but I don't, so I need to get rid of the scoring lines on everything. Hide that one. Okay, so all the score lines are gone now. And then go to make it. So you can see on here, all it's going to do is just cut the pieces with no score lines. And the same on the hat. Cut the piece, no score lines. So you have to do those yourself. Okay, then click continue. Choose the material and away you go. If you have a scoring tool, at this point here where it says load 5-point blade, it will ask you for the double scoring tool, and because it's so clever, once it's finished doing the score, it will then stop and ask you to load the 5-point blade, and then we'll cut out the piece, and it will do that for each mat. So that just makes it an awful lot easier. All right, so I'm just going to cut those pieces out and I will be back. All right, so all my pieces are cut out now. This is the beard, you can see, and then these are the body parts, so that you can actually see where you need to make your folds. Unhide the score lines, and then you've got your guide as to where you need to fold everything, because it's not always obvious where you need to. All right, so I've unhidden each of the score lines. So now I know that I need to fold all these bits here and fold them on these bits here. So right, so this is one of the body parts, and that is going to be the outside of my body. So the first line is across the bottom, and then you need to fold all of these here as well. So this is why it's really nice to have a scoring tool, because you don't have to do all of this. You can just literally bend them where the score is. So that's done. So there are all the folds that, so that's the bottom of the, that's the bottom, and then these are the side panels that you're going to glue together. This is the hat, and to save a bit of time, I've already folded all these, but the first fold is along the edge, and you can see that on the diagram, and then you have to go, make sure that you keep on the fold there and to each point as you go out. Make sure you keep it on that point, and then to the point here, and do that all the way around. And the last one. Oh. Okay, so that's your hat, and that piece there, you glue that, and that will make your hat. All right, to make your life easier with the body panels, take each one and run your finger and thumb together over it, and it gives it a curve. So you can see that is now curved. And when you join the body pieces together, it just makes them easier to join together. So just run your hands along to give it a curve. With the beard, this is the beard. If you do this in material, obviously you don't need to do this, but you just use this as your template, and cut around that for your beard. Right, so the first thing you need to do is get finger and thumb on these and just run them down through. What it does is bend the beardy bits at the bottom. You can see that. And then run your finger and thumb along the inside as well to create a curve. And that makes it easier to go around the body. And now the body pieces. So you can see I've curved them all just to make life easier. So you want glue on each one of these ridges on the side. Don't do the bottom one yet. And then literally they go inside there. So they slot together like that. Anchor the top one first. Make sure it's nice and level on that top point there. And then work on down through the other three. I'm just squeezing them on the inside. Make sure they're set. Okay, so that's your first one, and then same on all the other ones. So again, just anchor your top one, take any excess glue off. Make sure it's nice and level on the top there, and then work your way down and anchor the rest. Okay, so I'm just going to finish the rest of those and I'll come back. Okay, so this is the last piece, and that's always the most difficult to glue back together. And just make sure that you have the top anchored really well first. And then fix the bottom piece. So I'm literally just squeezing all of those together. Okay, so that's done. Then these bottom pieces, just bend them outwards a little, and what that does is help your two base pieces that you have, so I want those on the outside, and it helps them to stick together. So let's just glue those together first. Really simple piece, this one. Okay, that's good. And then glue along the inside line on these. And carefully pick it up and put it on the top of this. So pop that on there. Just manipulate it into place. And because you pulled those panels outwards, it will help them stick to that a lot better. A little bit of pressure. Okay, so you can see inside there, that's all good. And that is pretty well stuck, although I'm not happy with that bit. Okay, that's much better. Yeah, much better. All right, so that's that one done. And then it is a case of doing the hat, and that's fairly straightforward as well. So decent amount of glue, pop that inside, anchor the bottom, and the top bit is always the hardest. One, because you can't get your fingers all the way up inside. Okay, so that's stuck nicely as well, and that fits on the top there really well, as you can see. And then the beard would go around here, and you just need to glue it and hold it. I would start with the glue on that middle panel there first, and then glue those in place. So you can see where I've taken the size down, it means it's the perfect size there, but I don't want to use that. I'm going to use my piece of fluffy material, so I'm going to glue that to the front of my box. And you will see I cut a V out of it, which just gives space for the nose to glue to the box as well. Just make sure that sticks really well. Okay, so that's stuck, and then you can play around with the hair. You can make it really cute. And I think more sort of like Christmassy as well. Okay, so the fur is stuck. Then with the hat, I have this tinsel wool, and literally all I did with this, where the seam is at the back, I just stapled that together. So that's my seam at the back here. Literally, I'm just going to staple that. So if you're using tinsel, that's all you need. And that pops on the top there. So at the moment, he's looking really good. Okay, so this is the recycled plastic, which is a lot like wool, and I just sewed it at the back. I just sewed it at the back so it has that gnome nose shape. So all I'm going to do is stick some glue on there. and pop that on the front. Make sure that it sticks really well. So that's stuck on really well now. So I did the same with the feet, and I just sewed some of this recycled plastic together and sewed it at the back, and they look like really good feet. So a bit of glue on those, and then just pop that on the bottom there. And leave that to stick in place. This is the second one. Lift its beard up. So lift his beard up and stick that foot in place as well. Just push them, and this just shows you how strong this box is, because I'm using quite a bit of force to stick the feet. Some excess glue. There we go. So they're stuck on now. And then just play around with the hair over him as well, just to make him look a bit cuter. This is some of the wool that I have that I'm going to stick on the top of the hat. And what I'm going to do is just take that very, very top little bit off, just to make it easier for the bobble on the top to stick. So just pop that on there. Pop that on the top, and then I'm just going to leave that to stick. The bobble is stuck on the top now. That's the back. You can see where I've stapled the tinsel at the back. So where this very front fold is, I'm just going to make a V cut. And what that does is gives you room for your nose, as you can see. So when you put the hat on, there's a little bit of room for the nose, and then we just pull the tinsel down, and there you have it.